Peace. Hello, family. So I was watching a TikTok just now on a gentleman who was very emotional and passionately speaking about monitoring spirits. He was referring to animals that watch and interact with you or catch your attention, orbs in the side of your peripheral vision, yeah, and the generational spirits, ancestors, and the what's the word I'm looking for? Uh, Basically, how they're all bad. That's just the short version of it. And this is my feeling. So everything has a light and a shadow aspect. Everything in the world, in the cosmos, physical and non-physical, there's a light and a shadow to everything. Could there be energies watching you? Absolutely. But are they watching you always for ill intent? This is the part that is like vexing to me. It's like everything watching you has an ill will towards you. Why do you feel that way? Like, why do you feel like every single thing watching you is only watching you to make sure something bad happens to you? Why could it not be that the Most High, who created all of the animals, who created all of the animals to which you are referring to, maybe sent those animals to keep an eye on you, to make sure you don't harm yourself, to make sure that maybe it'll catch your attention and invoke a thought, a feeling, or something that is going to protect you? See, I don't have beef with religion per se. When you look at the definition of religion, what people mostly have a beef with is how people who are religious operate. It was interesting how he gave some Bible passages, and I'm like, that's hoodoo. Invoking Bible passages is absolutely a hoodoo practice, but I digress. You have to have a certain level of discernment in understanding why something is occurring in your sphere. Should you do protection work? Absolutely. Saying a prayer before you leave the house, when you're driving down the road, all of these things are just routine maintenance. But to feel like because you saw a bird flying, every bird flying that you see, now all of a sudden all these people are gonna be like, oh my God, all these birds are flying in. Now someone's watching me. There's a spirit watching me, and they want to make sure that something bad happens to me. Boom. What if all them birds are flying to make sure nothing bad happens to you? It is the one-sidedness of the story that is always perplexing and vexing to me. The notion that your ancestors only are bringing about curses, and why would your grandma do that? Why would your auntie, your mother? Why do you feel like they are only there watching you to make sure some cycle of life continues to hold you back? Why wouldn't it be possible that now that they are sitting in the seat in the garden of the Most High, that they are watching you to make sure that you don't perpetuate any cycles that are going to hold you and their lineage back? The notion that ancestors in a totality are sitting around plotting against you, that all of a sudden because they died, what? It sounds stupid. I'm just going to say it that way. I can't sugarcoat this any further. It sounds dumb. It sounds dumb. All of a sudden because your mama died, and your mama was this beautiful, great person in her life, but so because she died and now sees from the perspective of the Most High, she can't help you. She can't continue to pray for you. She can't continue to advocate for you. She's right there. She's in the penthouse suite. She's not down here on earth hoping that her words get to the... She's knocking on the office door. God, hey, you remember little Susie Q? She's trying to pass her test, and I know some of the answers, and I just feel like she struggles with studying. Can I whisper to her and help guide her in this? Seriously, I just really wish some of y'all would just allow yourselves to think, because that is what God gave you a brain for. Having a brain and a mind, an ability to have an intellectual thought does not immediately negate your spiritual prowess. You are supposed to be using the two in harmony and tandem. You're supposed to have mind, body, and spirit in alignment to give you full level of discernment of what is going on around you. Make that make sense. If you can make it make sense that your ancestors will be the people who watched over you, the people who loved your mother, the people who loved your grandmother, the people that loved your great grandmother, would want their family to continue to struggle. Make it make sense to me, and maybe we could talk. But if you can't make it make sense, if you can't make that logic make sense, then I need you to cease and desist all the slander against ancestral veneration. If you feel like all the birds flying, the beautiful birds that your creator created, who have a high level view of the world, that means they see from a higher perspective. So that means when you see a bird and it catches your eye and your attention, and maybe you've been going through something and you're in the muck and debris of the thing that you're going through, and you see like, wow, this bird is flying and it's so beautiful. Maybe God is saying, see it from this perspective, love. See it from up here. Come out of the muck, come out of the debris so you can see the big picture. And from the vantage point, maybe you can see your answer. He talked about eating in the dreams. And yeah, you probably shouldn't be eating in your dreams. Just putting it out there. But the notion that maybe you're hungry when you go to bed. Maybe you should have a better meal during the day so you can stop dreaming about actually eating food. I dream about food in my dreams often. I just never eat it. But I'm also like in my head, like, no, don't be eating. Don't be eating it. But eat better during the day. Eat. Maybe you're not eating. Maybe you're skipping meals. Maybe you're not snacking. There is a reason why, beyond somebody got beef with you, like, oh, everybody ain't trying to hex you. More often than not, you hexing yourself. There are people in the comments and it's like, oh, I can't finish your prayer. Why? That's you. Ain't nobody hexing you. Everybody's not out here doing hexes, and root work doesn't immediately mean that somebody is doing something negative to you. Roots is literally a reference to the herbs, the plants that were used as medicine. In essence, more often than not, it is protecting you. It is bringing you wellness into your life. It is attracting something to you. It is removing an obstacle in your way. Every single thing every time it's something associated with Black people, that is some powerful, powerful magic. You want to talk about being hexed? Think about the notion that Black people can't seem to attach themselves to their own spiritual practices while every other group of people can. Black people continue to perpetuate the notion that the colonizers told them that everything they do is evil, but you turn around and go and watch the colonizer implement your ancestrals' practices and say nothing. Every monument to a president, a point in history, these are ancestral shrines. We got whole days dedicated to celebrating the president. That's an ancestral veneration holiday. They got the whole country doing ancestral veneration, but you won't venerate the ones that are your bloodline. All I'm saying is discernment. And everything ain't just on one side. There is a wholeness to things. And if you allow yourself to be open to the wholeness of things, you will see the whole picture and make your own decisions. And maybe stop making your own people always something bad. Ashe.